baby. Hit it.
Let's get technical. This is Silicon Valley, and it has a special relationship with Bernie Sanders. So the other day while I was eating breakfast, I got bored, and when I get bored, I look up who funds different political campaigns, because, you know, that's what 14-year-olds do. And I decided to check out who funds Bernie Sanders. Now, check this out. As you go up the list, you see a handful of universities. But at the top, we'll find tech companies like Amazon, Apple, Microsoft, and at the top of the list, with over $250,000, Alphabet, which you may know for their most famous product, Google. So why is this? Why is Silicon Valley's OTP Bernie Sanders? Now, there are some minor reasons, such as Bernie's expertise in, or at least claim of expertise in, utilizing social media. Though Bernie admits he isn't much of a techie himself, he says, quote, "I consider myself smart enough to hire excellent people who know its importance."
Hi, this is Senator Bernie Sanders. I need your help. One of the reasons our campaign is doing so well is that we—
Hey, he utilizes cards on YouTube just like me! Shut up. Okay, that's great and all, but just because someone values social media, that's no reason to give a candidate hundreds of thousands of dollars. So what's the main reason? Well, let's start with the question, why Democrats? Silicon Valley has always been famously Democratic, but if you think about it, that doesn't really make much sense. Big government and high taxes can discourage innovation and becoming a successful company. Plus, it's the Republicans, not the Democrats, known for their pro-business attitude.
The fact is, I built a net worth of more than $10 billion. I have a great company. I employ thousands of people, and I'm very proud of the job I did.
Do we believe in an America that is great because of government, or do we believe in an America that's great because of free people allowed to pursue their dreams?
We want to help small businesses because they're the glue. The pizza shop, the florist, the candy shop, the barber. We want them to be strengthened.
My number one priority, both in the Senate and as president, is economic growth.
The reason Silicon Valley is so left-leaning isn't because of the Democrats' economic stance, but because of their social stance. The startup culture values pro-diversity, pro-LGBT+, and pro-net neutrality stances. Okay, yeah, that makes sense, but it just makes the choice of Bernie Sanders even more mysterious. Yes, he is pro-diversity, pro-LGBT+ rights, and very pro-net neutrality, but so is Hillary Clinton, and she doesn't have raising taxes at the top of her agenda. To finally answer this question once and for all, we actually have to ask another question. Do Apple and Microsoft and all these other tech companies themselves donate money to the campaigns? Or do the employees of those companies all come together and donate their money to Bernie's campaign? Well, check it, it's actually illegal for companies to directly donate money to political campaigns. And whenever someone tries to donate money to, say, Bernie or Hillary or Trump, you have to identify where you work. That's how we know that all this money is coming from people from these corporations. Great. So how does this answer our question? Well, Michael Briggs, a spokesperson for the Sanders campaign, commented on this, saying that as Silicon Valley progresses and grows, the two classes of the tech empire, the non-management class and the executive class, go further financially apart, and tensions between the two classes rise. And a lot of people in that lower economic class really agree with Bernie's message of income equality. Or, as Michael puts it makes sense that it would be part of the reason that people are drawn to Bernie's message. I don't know, that's probably what he sounds like. I wonder what he sounds like. The growing number of people in the non-management class agree with Bernie's message of a $15 minimum wage and higher taxes for the rich. They agree that it's crazy that the top 15 richest Americans own as much wealth as the bottom 40%. Yes, 15 people own more wealth than 120 million people. One of those 15 people, by the way, is Bill Gates, founder of Microsoft, whose employees have contributed over $95,000 to the Sanders campaign. And yes, like I said, you would think that startups would be more conservative, or at least fiscally conservative. But we're not talking about startups here. We're talking about legit, full-on businesses with a clear hierarchy. Oh, and we can prove that it's mainly the people in the non-management class and not the fat cat executives donating all that money to the Sanders campaign. Here's a quote from the Wall Street Journal. Mr. Sanders' Silicon Valley money came largely from smaller donations, not maximum contributions from companies' top brass. Fewer than 150 donors gave the maximum $2,700 for the primary to Mr. Sanders in the last quarter of 2015. By the way, the maximum you can donate to a political campaign is $2,700. Wonder why? Well, I'll answer that in a future video. Click here to check it out. Click here. Bah! Side note, you may have noticed that throughout this episode, both the Wall Street Journal and I have used language such as a lot of people, mainly the people, and came largely from when describing who donates to the Sanders campaign. This is important because we must acknowledge that even though most of Bernie's money coming from Silicon Valley comes from that non-management class, not all of it does. For example, take Manfred Georg, who donated $2,000 to the Sanders campaign and worked a phone bank. He told the Wall Street Journal, quote, "I want things to be fair, and I feel the system, as it is not. I have done particularly well, and I have a lot of these advantages. If you don't have them, it's really hard to get ahead." Georg, who got his PhD in manifold learning as applied to computer vision problems at Washington University in St. Louis, works at YouTube as a staff software engineer working on video analysis. Whoops, I spent too much time on LinkedIn. In summary, Silicon Valley loves Bernie Sanders because the people in the non-management class, the people who make up most of the donations to the Sanders campaign from Silicon Valley, agree with his stance on income equality. And that, my friends, that is the reason why Silicon Valley has chosen Bernie Sanders. If you don't feel like starting to play more in comments, please watch this video by Hank Green explaining the politics behind Parks and Recreation, because you probably won't start something crazy in comments after you watch that. But yeah, I don't care. Y'all can do whatever you want. Thank you so very much for watching. Click that subscribe button like Hillary Clinton swiping that Metro card. Just keep doing it. DFTBA, and remember to always explore on. Boom, 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 boom.
The New York City subway is the best way to get around. Ow. Try again, it's been a while. Is this a working Metro card?
I'm wearing my Star Trek shirt, so it's I mean, I always do the DFTBA sign, but it's very appropriate that I'm doing it now. Okay, here, welcome to the end screen. Throughout writing and researching this video, I found it oddly hard to contact the Sanders campaign. Here is my journey. I first contacted his Vermont office and got this.
Okay, I will say that in the Senate office we're not connected to the Senator's presidential campaign.
So then she gave me a phone number and an email. I called that phone number and got this.
Thank you for calling the Bernie 2016 campaign headquarters. If you're calling with questions, please hang up and email help@berniesanders.com. That's the fastest way to get the most accurate information. If you have a suggestion or information you'd like to share.
Yep, I got an automated message. That automated message also gave me a completely separate email Bernie's Vermont office gave me.
Quick note, the email that the woman gave me when I called their Vermont office was info@berniesanders.com, and the email the phone gave me, the guys on the phone gave me, was help@berniesanders.com. I think I'm going to email both.
So I emailed them both the exact same email, pause if you want to read it, and they both came back to me saying they don't discuss policy. I don't know what else to do, so I just did some more researching around, got some data, and I made it work, but still, it can't be that hard to just tell me how you got a statistic, or maybe it can, I don't know, I've never ran a political campaign. Okay, this is awkward, I don't know how to end this. Okay, shout out to Mouse, go Bruce, bye! Lee.